All right, hi everybody. John Meadows here with the boss, Dave Tate,
the boss.
El Jefe.
El Jefe.
So we're getting ready to do a push workout from our training program today. And what you'll see in the training program is you'll see two types of push workouts. You'll see one that we call it the dynamic push workout, and then we have a max effort workout. So they're very different in structure, but today we're doing the dynamic workout. All right, so the first thing you're going to notice on the push workouts is a warm-up sequence. And
Yes.
the warm-up sequence is it's a band pull apart, it's a plank, and it's hanging leg raises. So
Yes.
why did you come up with those three exercises for our warm-up?
Okay, those are used. That warm-up's used for most of the sessions throughout the whole program, and you can say it's a warm-up, you can say it's activation, you can just say it's a little extra work. This being a power building type program, one of the concerns that we spoke about at the very beginning is we're going to be taking a lot of lifters that may not have powerlifting experience. So they may not have the experience of how to lift a 1 rep max safely. They don't know how to stabilize it, they don't know how to absorb the load, things like that. So where do we stick in movements to help build stabilizers they otherwise wouldn't have in there, right? So you could also say this is prehab in a way. So the hanging leg raises, for one thing, because it's hanging, obviously, you're stretching the hip flexor, so you're opening the abdominal wall.
So when we do those, we want straight legs and not
Yes.
okay.
Well, if they're strong enough, then yes. But if not, they can do bent knee.
Bending, okay.
Right. All I'm worried about, honestly, is just the hanging part to open the hip flexors up, because what happens with a lot of strength athletes is they get all bound up through here and a lot of bodybuilders too, because you do a lot of machine work, you do a lot of seated work. How much standing work are people actually doing?
Right.
And then when they do standing work like a pull or a squat, are they actually fully extending in any way?
Gotcha.
So I just want that full extension in there for that reason, just mainly for the hips. And the secondary impact of that is the abdominal work, which a lot of people just generally skip.
Right.
So you stick it in there.
Right.
The band pull apart's more for shoulders, the rotator cuff, all the stabilizers in the
Rear
upper back,
delts,
right? The rear delts, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the planks, the same thing, teaching them to keep a rigid torso when they squat, when they pull, and when they do other movements. So if they're doing the planks right, it's kind of hard to do a plank wrong, but there are ways to do it right, to do it wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can make it a lot harder by pulling your toes and elbows together, but even if you just chill out and hang there, they still got to keep that tight, which is what we want them to do when they squat. So it's kind of like a sneaky way to stick in things that I know they otherwise probably wouldn't do. When you do this, you want to keep your back flat. What you don't want to do is go into like a pike position, like this here. So if this is all you can do, because that's where you got to start, that's fine, but slowly bring it down until you're in that flat, tight position. Drive the elbows towards the toes.
So our first exercise today is dynamic benches. We're using 55% of our 1 rep max on these. If you don't know your 1 rep max, don't kill yourself to find out. In the program, we have a calculator. You can pick 3 reps, 5 reps, 8 reps, what your max is. Like say with 8 reps, it'll calculate it for you. We have a really cool calculator in there. It's actually a ton of calculators, and we pick one of the numbers. This isn't for hypertrophy. This is high velocity training. This is to develop force rapidly. This is very good for powerlifting and being able to produce force fast. Honestly, it's really good for athletes too. So dynamic benches, these are meant to be done fast. We've got 30-second rest breaks programmed in here. If you got 3 people like we had today, it's perfect. You just go bang, bang, bang. If you got 2 people, you might have to time it so you don't go quite so fast. You might go a little too fast. And as we go, Dave will show you the grips we're using, but we're doing 9 sets of 3 with 55% of our 1 rep max. The goal was speed. If you're using weight so heavy it's slow, then that's not the point of this. Remember, later in this week, we got a max effort workout. So you follow what we're saying, okay?
So get set up, but don't take it out, right? So squeeze like you're going to do that. Make sure everything's set up. All I want you to do is keep your elbows where they are. Try to pull the bar into the J cup without taking it out. Like you're doing like a pull-up. See that right there?
Yeah.
Okay, relax, do it again.
Yeah.
See that? Okay. This time I want you to do that and then take the bar out after you do that. Ready? Do it. Go.
Ooh, yeah.
See? Now this is all stable. See the difference?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're gonna use the J cup as just like a cue, right? Just to boom, are your lats tight?
Yeah.
Because when you go like this, you're not tight, and you take it out, and all this is not stable, right? And you're gonna be trying to press with speed. So this has to be tight because you're gonna be trying to generate force, and the force of the barbell going up is also gonna be generated by you driving down.
Yep. Yep.
And if this is all loose, come up again, keep your lats loose. Like here, if this is all loose, look.
Yeah.
Right now, do like a pullover. See, now I can't, see now when I move you, your whole body has to move.
Yeah.
Right, relax that again, but just like hold that like you were holding the bar. See, now this moves, that's shoulder damage, right?
Yep.
You get the lats tight again. This moves, it's not shoulder damage. Because that won't move because the barbell is also going to be pushing weight down on you.
I feel a big difference.
Okay, if for some reason your bench is a peg where the bar is going to be way down in there, all I'm trying to have him do by pulling it into the J cup is to flex his lats. So the bar can still be back there, and you just consciously think about doing a pullover first, then take it out.
Yep.
Okay, one thing you guys want to be aware of is when you put the bar back into the bench, just rack it straight back. Don't look to the side when you rack it back. So keep your eyes focused on the bar and just straight back into it, or use a spotter.
So I can do about 350 on my bench. I know, nothing impressive. 55% will be a little bit over 190. We're going to use 195. And Brett and I are both going to use that. And James is going to use, we're going to say he's raw at about 450. So if you put him at 55%, that puts him around 240 to 250. So he'll be putting quarters over top of, over what Brett and I are using. So these are 25s, these aren't 45s. So I'll be using, like I said, over 195, and James will be using about 245. All right, set number one.
So I'm going to use 3 different grips today. It's going to be a wide grip, a medium grip, and a close grip. It's going to be 3 sets with each different grip. They can change it however they want.
Okay, so where do you want me to start?
Just make sure it's even, that's fine.
Do
Yeah,
it
go pinky on the rings.
pinky on the rings?
Yeah. Hold it, let it settle, go. 3, boom, boom, boom. 1, up, knock them out. There you go.
All right, so we went a little wider.
So it's a little bit wider grip.
Yeah.
Hit it.
Okay, we're closer, changing the grip.
There you go. Hit it. All right, guys, something else that's important with the dynamic work and the max effort work as well, but I actually think it's really more important with the dynamic work is to make sure when you grab the bar, you're gripping the bar, right? Even if you use, I don't want to get into the thumbless thing, just wrap your thumb around, right? If you're using a thumbless, it's a different conversation, but dig the grip in hard and then wrap around. Just don't grab lazily because it's 55%. You got to grab it super tight because you're going to try to launch it like it's 100%.
One thing that's really key on this is to get the max benefit out of this, you have to push the bar up as fast as you can. It's not going to be real heavy, but it doesn't matter. Push it as hard as you can. That's the whole goal. Maximal recruitment, maximal speed. And also, it's not going to kill you. Don't start adding sets yet. You'll see the sets change as the program progresses. So don't add to it. Do it as written. It's written with that many sets for a reason. So I remember the first time I did those dynamic speed benches. So you guys took me over to London Groveport Road, 665.
Yep.
We were in a garage, and I remember there was 3 benches. So your first bench had the top 4 guys, the strongest guys, and the second bench, you were probably on the first one. The second bench had the next 4, and then the third bench had the weakest 4, and I was literally number 12. Like 12 guys were allowed to bench in there, and I was number 12.
It was the 500-pound plus bench, the 400-pound plus bench, than everybody else.
Yeah. So I think at the time I was doing a little over 4, but I fell out into the weak group. Because Joe McCoy was in there. He was the 181 pounder, and he was benching more than me, and I was the 220 pounder. But I was the weak guy. So I remember that. I remember that garage.
It's interesting that that you were allowed to go out there, for one thing, because
Because I'm so weak.
well, no, it's when I first came to Westside, it was actually before I moved to Columbus, and I was making trips up. Louis told me to come up to bench, and so I came up, and the bench was on a Sunday, so I went to their gym, which on the time was on Demhurst, and it was still a commercial gym. And he had a back area that was for the powerlifting that had police tape over it, so you couldn't go back there unless you're that. So I'm there on Sunday, and I'm waiting. And a small group of guys came in, and they weren't the guys that I knew from the meets. They were just these other guys. I'm like, well, what the hell, you know? And then Doris comes in, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be here to, you know, bench with Lou and everybody. Oh, no, they don't bench here. They bench out, you know, Tim Van Horn. So I'm like, I don't even know who Tim Van Horn is. I don't even know what this is. So then Chuck come in later because they did their accessory work. And I come to find out I'm not allowed to bench out there because you need a 500-pound bench or an elite total. And I had both, but I didn't do it at Westside. So even when I moved to Columbus, I wasn't allowed to go out there until I had a 500-pound bench while being in Westside. So I jumped in a meet real quick, you know, and did the 500 so I could go out there to Van Horn's a bench. But so Louis had a lot of things like that, to where you kind of had to earn your way into different things. So even when you were out there, there was the 400-pound bench, which was in the middle, then those that bench 500 were over here, and then the others, which is the elite lifters, were out there. So you had to earn your way out there. Then there was kind of the benches that you were in. But the benches were mainly because it was speed work. So you had to move fast.
Yeah.
And the most people we would ever have might be 5.
Yeah.
So you wanted this, the bar was always moving because other people changed the weight. So you had somebody behind, one person on each side, the lifter, and then somebody in waiting.
Just rotate.
So it just moves. So 5 people, you're still getting probably 30, 45 seconds.
Okay, slide incline dumbbell. As you know, we love the slide incline. We did 2 feeder sets of 5 reps to get to our top set, which will be 8 reps. So you want a hard set of 8, and then we're going to do a drop set. So we'll do a hard set of 8 again, cut the weight about 30%, go to failure. Notice we have some shiny new dumbbells today at Elite, and these things are really heavy. 6, 7.
Yep. Come on.
Okay, 70. Got it. Thank you. Got him. That's it. Oh, that burned. Oh, that burned. Here we go. Here we go. Good control. 2. Good control. 3. 4. Come on. 5. Come on. 6. Come on. 7. One more. Okay, drop it. Drop it. All right, 105. 105. Back down. 105. Okay, wrap them out. You should be okay. Got it?
How many are here?
Failure.
1.
Okay, here we go. Come on. There it is. There it is. There it is. Just keep going. Smooth. Smooth reps. Clean reps. Clean reps. Come on. Good. Come on. Good. Come on. Go. One more. One more. Up. There you go. Good set. That's it. Nice. So we're moving on now to high incline Smith. Oh, by the way, don't think I need more chest work. Remember, there's another chest work coming later in the week that's a lot more volume. So do not go, that's not enough for my chest. I need to do more. Don't you worry. Be patient. So now we're moving on to the high incline Smith, and we're going to do a few feeder sets, and then we're going to do a hard set of 8. Then we're going to add a little bit of weight. We're going to do a hard set of 5. Now, Before we start the set, we're going to hold the bar for a 2 count at the top, and then after our last rep, we're going to hold the bar at the top again for a 2 count before we rack it.
All right, the reason we're doing the 2-second hold at the beginning of the set and the 2-second hold at the conclusion of the set is for multiple reasons. It's to help build the stabilizers a little bit. Granted, it is on the Smith machine, so you can kind of negate that one a little, but it's still practicing being able to do that, because when you start doing true max effort work for max singles, you can't treat those weights like you would a set of 10 or the way a lot of bodybuilders would, where you just take it out and start. You got to take it out, kind of let the weight ground a little bit and absorb the weight into your body. You got to remember, if you're going to lift bigger weights or maximal weights, you have to stabilize the weight first, then you have to absorb the force before you can produce the force. So just by sticking this part into the program, it's teaching the lifter to begin to stabilize and to absorb that force.
Okay, 1, 2. All right, so we did a 45 and a 25 for 8, and now we swapped out the 25 for 45. So we had 2 45s on each side. This is a really cool Smith machine. It's old school. This is a Texas squat bar, and there's no counterbalance on here, so this this is really heavy. So now it should be a very hard set of 5. And hold. 1, 2, good. Okay, we've moved on to Y raises. We want 3 sets of 12 here. Make sure you're pulling the dumbbells up at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. So not out to the side, not straight out in front, somewhere in between. And your shoulders will be fired up after you do these. Oh, man.
There's 12-foot sheets. You can see with a sheet seam, so that it's like 12 foot tall, maybe 6 wide, and then they just it's wide.
So, like, did Ken scan all these in? I know some of them are close. There's some that you're kind of like.
All right, so in the program we wrote if you have shoulder issues, but really probably everybody should do these spider crawls. Dave has mentioned several times the need to have good stabilizers, particularly in this kind of program, and I learned these from you.
Yes.
So how did you guys come up with these?
You just get sick of doing band pull parts over and over and over. You got to come up with something else. So
Yeah.
one day I actually started one day I just put the band between my wrist and grabbed each side of a power rack and just walked it up that way. Then I thought, well, I can kind of cheat. So what if I went against the wall and just walked across
Yeah.
that? And then it just lit my shoulders up, and I knew that's pretty much what we need to do.
Yeah, well, these are, I found that when we combine the over and backs
Mm-hmm.
with these, like people's shoulders always get better. Like it's amazing how their shoulders feel better. So these are great. So we do 3 sets here. Now go up above your head and down below your waist. Up and down is 1 rep. So you basically do 3 reps. You go up, down, up, down, up, down. And that's 1 set. So 3 sets just like that. Next up, we're going to do what we write up as dual rope tricep extensions. Now you can see one of these ropes is longer than the other. So make sure you check the length of the rope. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use this little contraption, which is absolutely fantastic. So 4 sets of 12 here, pin your elbows in your sides, full extension on your tricep. All right, now we got our tricep kickouts. It's kind of like a dumbbell line extension. Go ahead and kick it up. Now when you come down, you want your elbow to be in and take the dumbbell down to your shoulder. Now just kind of kick it up. Right there. Right there. See how he's dropping into it right there? As opposed to coming behind his head. It's just a subtle change in technique, but it really puts a lot of stress on your tricep. Just like that. We call these dumbbell kickouts, but it's really just a modified line extension. Just remember, right into the shoulders, you really open up the belly of the muscle, and then kick it up. We're going to do 3 sets of 8 right there, and your triceps will fatigue pretty fast. I mean, if you think about all the stuff we've done today that involved triceps, it's a lot of tricep work. All right, so that's the workout. Now, what I want you all to be careful of is don't add anything to this. Like, don't start adding stuff to it because we've built in some real aggressive progressions into this. So don't be tempted. You're going to see more stuff coming at you. We're building up as we go.
Yes.
So
Stay to the
anyway,
plan.
stick to the plan exactly how we've written it up. And that's it. We'll see you next time.